Hello, everybody. Welcome to the pre-show. I just realized that our mics are off. Sorry about that. So I'm here with my lovely wife, Priscilla. Say hello.
Hi,
Hi, how you doing?
I'm good.
Good. All right. So our topics tonight is paranormal experiences, ufology, and media manipulation, and specifically media manipulation. The reason why I brought that into the context is because Rich and I have been kind of talking about things like that and issues revolving around that. So I'm curious to know, Priscilla, what are your thoughts on the media and how it's used, perhaps to manipulate the masses?
Well, I think it's basically only used to manipulate the masses,
Okay.
except for the live updates that we get on certain things that happen to people. I mean, I believe that some of that could be true, but for the most part, I think it's BS.
I would have to agree for the most part. Okay, so is there any questions you think I should ask tonight, our guest?
Well, I think I should have had time to think about this because that's quite a topic. But I'll get back to you.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for allowing being here with me in this new segment, part 2, that we're trying to figure out. And you look lovely as always. And thanks and hello to all the members. I see Serena out there. I see Cece. You were there, surviving because you were having a hard time, but I'm glad you're here. So everybody that is here for the show, sit back, relax, enjoy, and we'll see you in a few minutes.
Tonight we will go deep into the realm of the unknown and question everything as we search for the truth. We will explore the possibility of countless phenomena within the ultraspectrum, and together we will learn that it is all connected. This podcast is brought to you by the Experiencer Support Association, and it is a live stream broadcast. If you have a question, send me a super chat or become a YouTube member. This podcast is brought to you by the Experiencer Support Association. Take a seat, relax, get ready, and welcome to Beyond the Tinfoil Hat.
Hello, everybody. Today is Thursday, January 13th, 2022, and I, Ryan Stacy, am your host this evening. I'm a licensed private investigator, a citizen journalist, and the director of investigations for the Experiencer Support Association. Welcome to the channel, and thank you for joining us this evening. To super chat, just click the $ next to your name in the comment box, and if you're in the observation deck, we are in the Experiencer Hall. Go in, put your comments in the questions box, and I will, in the comment box, and I'll check that in a little bit. Our guest for season 4, episode 2 is Richard Giordano. I hope I said that right. He has been a boots on the ground UFO paranormal researcher since 2004 and a radio personality since 2006. The GUFON Channel, which means Giordano's UFO Network, is on YouTube. Richard hosts this network and broadcasts a few shows based on his personal experiences within the paranormal and many other exciting topics within ufology. It is a constantly mutating show showcasing live streams and the latest essential discoveries. It is a serious show with a slice of comedy from a host who leaves it all on the table. Rich from the sidelines observed a misidentified, possibly hoaxed event deemed credible circulate within the media. This event was essentially clickbait and generated much ad revenue for those involved. Tonight's theme is paranormal experiences, ufology, and media manipulation. So, hey, Rich, put on your tinfoil hat. How you doing this evening?
It is already on. I'm doing great, man. Thanks for having me on.
No worries. Thanks for being here. How was your day?
Well, I woke up at 5, so been up for 3 hours. Already went on a show, and I'm doing my second one right now.
Right on.
And,
Okay.
Yeah, so it's been great, actually.
That's good. Just started. Started. So we normally do an icebreaker for this, but I don't have one today. Our guy that does that is away right now. But I'm going to dive right into it. The first question I always ask is essentially, why are you the way that you are? How did you get to this? So you mentioned, why are you the way that you are? So you have experiences,
Yeah.
right? So did those experiences lead you to this guy sitting here? Like, walk me through that. Start from the beginning. Let us know how you got here.
There's not enough time, but I'll give you the nutshell of it all. My whole life, it's always been an interest of mine since I was 6 years old. When there was in 1975, they had the blackout on the East Coast. It was huge. And there were these red UFOs. Saw it with my dad, and all the neighbors came outside. So a couple of years later, Close Encounters of the Third Kind comes out, and I'm really hooked into it now. Now I believe aliens exist. And fast forward to 2004, I was outside with my wife looking up on... So what I was saying is, it's a lifelong thing. There's so much to go over. We don't have enough time. But what got me into this was that we were outside on April 15, 2004. I bought a dog, and we went outside to walk him at 10 at night. She was looking up, as was I, and we were laying on the chaise lounges, and she goes, "Oh, what, did you see that?" And I'm like, "What?" And she goes, "Oh, a light shot off." And then as she's saying it, I said, "No, I don't." "Oh, there it is." I interrupt her kind of like that. And I go, "Yeah, I see it. So we saw a couple of objects I thought were satellites, but they did move back and forth. One did, and one just kept going. So I'm like, I don't know if satellites can stop on a dime and then slowly go back. And if they're in space, that's a great distance that they're moving. But I didn't think anything of just satellites at that time. So the next night I go out again, just out of habit. It wasn't on, to go look up. And I'm laying in the same chaise lounge by myself, and I see the light come back. Exact same time, too, which was really interesting to me because that tells me either there's some sort of secret something going on above my head, or this happens on a regular basis. So, it never happened again after that night, but I went on the internet. I looked up UFOs over Phoenix to see if anybody saw anything the night before. Nothing. I mean, it looked like satellites, but it couldn't have been the way they moved. And I got in contact with Jeff Willis, who's a real well-known sky watcher his whole life. And he says, "Oh, you need to do this. And he's giving me pointers on how to catch the UFOs during the daytime. So I borrowed my sister's camera, not having one. So I still have it. It's a Sony Hi8, which I prefer over digital. And I started looking for things. And I had LASIK surgery, so my vision was really incredible. 2015 for a good 2 years. And, now it's degraded over time. But, yeah, I just had LASIK surgery in March because that was my birthday. My wife got it for me as a gift. And I'm seeing things nobody else can see, apparently. And I started videotaping things. And then I realized, how could there be this many UFOs? This is impossible. I go my whole life, I don't see anything really, nothing significant. Why now? Is it because of the eyesight? Are people just not looking up? So I bought a lens extension, a magnification. I bought binoculars, and I started debunking myself. And then I started seeing people just accepting what I was giving them as legitimate UFOs. And that got me thinking and talking to my wife a lot. She was my ground in all this because she didn't believe in it. So I needed that. It was perfect relationship. So I'm like, all these people believe no matter what I tell them. I can give them a balloon and they'll say, great job, Rich, because they don't give a crap. And that started my dive into what goes on behind the scenes. I started going to conferences. I met Jaime Maussan, saw the most unbelievable Keystone Capers thing behind the scenes, swearing and dropping stuff. And it was so unorganized. And this guy's #1 in the world. Are you kidding me? And he accepted a UFO video that was a garbage bag. And my friend Mike gave it to him. And Jaime said, these are the best I ever seen. And it would have been if it was real. So I started the show. I had a website called CNUFOS. And the rest is history. And I started talking about what I learned over 20,000 hours of sky watching, which is a legitimate number. I know it sounds like a lot, but 14 to 12 hours a day for 4 years straight makes up for that. And that's the truth. So, you know, I think I know a lot about what's on video, but drones are making it much harder now. So everything goes and anything goes, and it's frustrating. I don't do as much sky watching. I do more video analysis and doing the show. And I also have I have the sister channel, Third Phase UFO Report from Third Phase of Moon, that I manage and put videos up there as well. So keeping active, boots on the ground, meeting people, going to locations. We broke a story a couple of years ago. It was amazing in Snowflake, Arizona, Travis Walton County. It was pretty interesting. And, you know, we do other things too. Strange objects, you know, things that are 500,000 years old. We go get them analyzed and all sorts of things we're doing, boots on the ground. So that's me, man.
That's amazing. Boots on the ground is very essential, very important. Not many people actually understand what that means, and actually know how to do that. So I commend you for doing that.
Thanks. Yeah, self-taught. I watched so many people do things wrong. I'm like, you can't look into the sun. What are you, crazy? You know, just all sorts of mistakes. Yeah, I'm sorry. I get a little animated when I start thinking back.
We're on the same page. Like
are you? Okay.
I spent a career with MUFON investigating as well light refractions and lens flares and things like that, trying to convince people that what they're seeing is known objects. And then, you know, of course, you have those challenges, right, where they really believe. So my question, I guess, in terms of that is, how did you, when you take this information and you break it all down and is it presented in your video format on your channel? Is that how you're presenting it? Once you are done your analytics or analysis?
Well, not really, because I have a 2-hour show and it morphed into this what it is now. It wasn't intended, because I went from doing a radio show to doing video. Mm-hmm. So to do all that and break it down and show everybody, it would take me a long time to do all that. I'm doing a lot of different things, so I can't squeeze it in. But I show them as best as I can with the video evidence I have. Mm-hmm. How I look at things and why and all that, yeah.
I feel you on that. I've been spending a lot of time doing that myself, and I'm itching to get back into the investigations because that's the cream of my crop. So I guess what I was going to say is, have you ever had issues where your analysis, you're so sure about your analysis, and someone disagreed with you? And if they did, how did you deal with that?
Oh, all the time. Yeah. I mean, people disagree no matter what I say. I don't know if it's because they just want to, you know, bust my chops on things and just see how I react, or if they're real serious. Hey, for instance, we just had I don't know if you're familiar with it, but apparently somebody found UFO Proof is the channel, an S4 pin located right by Papoose Lake in Area 51, giving the location. Are you familiar with the story?
No.
Yeah, so this guy Kyle from UFO Proof is looking for S4. He loves Bob Lazar. He decided to search somewhere else, and he found a pin, a government pin, you know, with the 3 columns, and only a government official can put the pin there for the whole world to see. You can put your own pins at the location, and this is the problem we're having. but it only shows up on your computer. We're talking about Google Earth and Google Earth Pro, not Google Maps. So anybody who goes and uses the app on their computer won't see. Okay, I'll tell you why I'm saying that. So this is found, and then 2 days later it was gone. Somebody removed it. So everybody's saying, oh, Kyle faked it. He put the pin there and then took it off. No, can't do that. We put a bet out there, Third Phase of Moon did, for $10,000. Anybody who can put that government pin there and name it Third Phase of Moon Base, they would give them $10,000. And because everybody's saying it's so easy to do, they got 4 days to do it. Nobody did it. And these people still, to this day, that was on New Year's Eve, to this day, it was still arguing with me saying, no, it shows up, it shows up. I'm like, no, it doesn't. You're using maps. And the thing is with people, they don't hear. They don't listen to the evidence. I'm like, guys, it can't show up if you're using Google Earth, Google Pro. Then they said, I just did it. And I'm like, that's Google Maps, idiot. You know, it's like, God, are you not listening? And so this is a big problem that's been going on for like almost 2 weeks. So yeah, that we're dealing with it the best we can. This other channel tried to attack the guy who found it and saying he was a criminal in his past. He did this and that. Anyway, it has nothing to do with the evidence.
No.
So people are trying to bring it down, and Richard Doty then came on his show and said, oh, that's where all the dead aliens go, but that's not S4, it's S2.
Okay.
So that's where we ended it. And we're like, what just happened?
So let's break that down to the evidence, because everyone's going to speculate on that. So
yeah.
You've seen the pin yourself as a witness?
Everybody did. Yeah.
Yeah. So you know it exists. So where is this pin pointing?
Well, it's on 2 blocks. I mean, it's about 6 miles, I think, northeast or northwest of Papoose Lake.
Okay.
There's a road that you can go right from Area 51, about 4 miles, whatever it is, make a left and go another 3-4 miles. And you see these 2 squares, and then the pin was right there in between the squares, kind of. So it was at this location.
And what do you suspect is at that location? What was the significance of that pin being there, marking that location?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Here's the kicker on it. It's been there for 2 years.
Okay.
So why did somebody or something remove it after 24 hours after we posted it on Third Phase of Moon? You know, they got a lot of people watching them. And this other channel, Alien Scientist, you may know him, he told everybody to go and say it's not S4. He thinks, in the beginning, see, this is the problem. People say stuff and they don't know. Mm-hmm. And he said, oh, this is water guzzlers. They're big square things that capture water for the wild animals in the region. But this is 100 by 100, 2 what look like structures about 17 feet tall. Mm-hmm. And I lost my train of thought. So where was I going? I thinking too many things at one time.
It's okay. We got time.
But, right. So he's saying it's water guzzlers. Then 2 days later, he does more research because Third Phase of Moon said it's not water guzzlers. And then he came back and found out that there's a mine shaft there.
Okay.
And it's not on, it is on government property, but not on the BLM, I believe is what they call it. I'm not sure. But it's not on the Sirius side of it, Area 51. It is on government property. Mm-hmm. But nobody knows. But it is a mine shaft with these 2 big squares that we don't know what they are. It's like, you know how Google Earth smashes things down if they don't want you to see it? Yeah. So that's what's happened. And this information is like disinformation because people in the chat, all the people are emailing me and they're like, you guys are wrong. You guys are wrong. It's water guzzlers. We just proved it wasn't. Mm-hmm. What more? We got the land map and everything that says what it is. It's a mine and it's not water guzzlers. And just because somebody said it was water guzzlers in the beginning, everybody sticks to it. And I don't understand how people don't get it.
Well, we can't make everybody happy. That's with anything. So you know what it is, and you based on your analysis of it from what you've seen. So what do you think the significance of that mind being
Right.
there for?
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. Forget whatever, because people will challenge anything. But
Sure.
I mean, let's hear your theory on what it really is.
Well, I'll just say, of course, I can't
Okay.
know for sure, but what do I think it is? I think it is part of S4. I think somebody labeled it without knowing the history of that location and Bob Lazar. It could be somebody who's 25 years old who never heard of Bob Lazar because the story's older than them. And they posted that pin there. And then when Jeremy said, hey, man, everybody go there and flag it as not really S4, then it was removed. And it hasn't been put back yet. I don't know what it is. I don't believe Richard Doty, of course. He's a professional counterintelligence liar, MIB guy.
Yeah. So there's what I'm hearing there is influence. Somebody. So by Jeremy, do you mean like Corbell? Is that what you mean?
No. It was Jeremy from Alien Scientist Channel.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Because if someone's telling what I'm hearing is something happened and everyone is talking about it, so it blew up, and then somebody told a bunch of people to go and get rid of it. So are the same people that told the people to get rid of it or flag it or so it would be get rid of, is it possible that that's the same people that might have put it there in the first place?
No way. It's been there for 2 years.
Yeah.
Just nobody found it.
So the pin is gone, but is the structures are still there. The map hasn't changed.
Well, as we were talking, it looks like they removed the location.
Okay.
There's because I had it set up for the show in case we talked about it.
Okay.
And I saw a message here saying that Google Earth was updated on some imagery, and now I can't find it.
Interesting.
So the location, I think, is gone. I'll double check. But
yeah, we can share your screen if you got it open. We can dive into that if you want. Yeah, because I recently...
Oh, I found it. I found it. Yeah.
Do you want to share the screen? You want to...
Sure. Yeah, I know how to do that.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll share it. There we go. In 3, 2... Oh, right.
Do I have to...
There might be an echo.
I'll mute myself, I guess.
Well, only if we talk. So I'll just show it to you.
Okay. Sounds good. I'll just throw her in there.
Do you hear me echoing?
I just muted it. That's all.
Okay. So this is it. Yeah, this is the location. It doesn't say S4. I'm on Google Earth. And the pin was somewhere in here. And this is the mine right here. This is it. But what are these, There's lines on here. And I didn't pull it up for you, but if you ever look at the Bob Lazar photograph that he had, when he said what it was, there are all these lines, this grid that were in front of the hangar doors that he said were into the mountain. This is an interesting location, but, if you go back out, I'll show you. It's not that far. There's Papoose Lake up here and Area 51 right here. So, yeah, you take this road here and it goes past, this airport.
But all those roads are just how you get to it on land. So where would you speculate if this is a mine that does go underground? I guess it could connect directly to...
Well, S4 is very big. S4, according to some, whistleblowers and whatnot, if you believe them, when they built S4, it's so big that they had to compensate for the curvature of the Earth. So whatever is underground is huge. Mm-hmm. That's why this could be what Richard Doty said. Maybe that's why they removed the pin, because it wasn't S4. It said S4 Research Facility is what it actually said. And then there was another pin next to it that said S4. But if it is S2, maybe that's why they removed it, because it really isn't S4. Maybe they're going to put it back. I don't know, but...
So this pin, in terms of pins, was this a manual pin that, when you say they, or was this something that was automatically put in by Google Maps or Google Earth?
It's Google Maps, just like this. I'll show you.
Yeah.
It looks like... I got to find the pin to this. I don't know where that is.
So it's not one that you manually enter yourself. It was done by the one.
It has to be, yeah, it has to be done by 2 people for government locations on Google Earth.
Okay.
So it has to be verified by another person. Here,
There you go.
let's see if this pulls it up. This is Homey Airport. See, that's not even the pin. That's not what it looked like.
Okay.
It had, I can pull up a picture I have somewhere. Hold on, I can do that for a second. I'm pretty sure I got this saved in here. So downloads. All right, here we go. Yep, I got it. I got it. I think this is it. I'm not sure. Shoot, I can't. Hold on, let me make it bigger so I can see it. And no, this looks like it, but it's not. This is the Bob Lazar stuff. I don't have it here. Let me try one more place. I may have screenshotted it. Yeah, I did. All right, good. Good. Let's pull this up. See if this works. No, that's not the picture I wanted. So let me go back. Oh, I do want to show you this. Can you see that?
Yeah, I can see it.
See the yellow pin?
Yeah.
That's, for some reason, I think this is just on the map now. I don't know why that's there, how I got that, to be honest. Here's the coordinates.
That one would be a manual pin. That yellow pin would be a manual one that you could input yourself.
Oh, that's what I think it is. Somebody
Yeah.
gave that to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. So let me see if this one is good. No, that doesn't have it. Let me see if this one has it. That's not it. I don't know what I did with it.
That's okay.
The pictures, yeah.
So I guess what we're coming back to is government. It has to be authorized. So someone with high power and authority had placed the pin there at that location, and they named it S4.
S4 Research Facility, and then there was another pin right next to it that said S4.
So then a bunch of people that are on YouTube channels that, and I mean no offense when I say this, that carry less weight than those of the government, told the government that pin is wrong, and the government listened to that. Is that what I'm understanding?
That's exactly right.
So did the government just, someone noticed, or I made a mistake, or was it one of those kind of, you know what, this is drawing too much attention, just get rid of it, we'll deal with it later. We know where it is, doesn't matter.
Yep, that's what I think it might be. I don't know if you can see this, but this is it. It's not letting me, it's this pin. It looks like a little house with 3 columns.
Okay.
But that's the government pin. That's what I don't know why it's not letting me get any closer than that, but I guess because it's the White House.
So has any of you, I just got my investigator hat on here, but have any of you messaged the people that are in charge of the software to inquire as to why it was missing?
Yeah, that Jeremy guy did, and I don't know if he heard back yet because it's still kind of, fresh in a way for that part of it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so we're still waiting on some. Can you guys see this? What it looks like? Probably not, huh?
Yeah, I can see it.
It's hard to see, yeah.
I just I don't want to get too close.
Oh, I'll just screenshot it and blow it up.
Yeah, it's all good. All right.
That's what I'll do.
Cool. Yeah, so that on its own is interesting. So, and what's concerning about it is obviously the proximity to Area 51 and S4 and all that other
there
stuff.
It is.
Yeah, okay. So that was there. You've seen that, witness.
Yeah.
You're the witness to that. So I'm not going to talk you out of that.
Everybody was.
Everyone's pretty convinced that was there. So,
so that's the government pin right there. That's what they look like. Yeah. You and I can't put that there.
Right, because and that was what was there, and then people complained that it was inaccurate location.
Right.
So how did the people know that was inaccurate?
Nobody knew. They guessed. That's why it got That's why everybody got angry because.
And why would the government listen? They would know. They put it there.
I know. It's very strange. That's the whole thing.
Strange. I'm just I'm playing both sides here. I'm trying to understand the people. I'm trying to understand the government. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay.
But anyway, that's that.
Okay. Well, that's strange. That's odd. And that's media manipulation, I guess. That's kind of what we can kind of segue into.
It is.
Is to, do you know of another example of something like that happening on Google Earth, Google Maps?
No. I've never seen a pin be removed a day after people were told to go flag it, you know?
Is it possible it was a mistake? Honestly,
Yeah, sure.
Like they're humans too, right?
But it was there for 2 years. It's not like they just put it up. Yeah, and it could have been a
pin
mistake.
was there for 2 years?
The pin was there for 2 years.
I see. And then it just somebody finally noticed it.
He found it. He went to a place where nobody was probably looking, which to me sounds really suspicious. You mean to tell me in the last 700 days, with all the people who like to look around that area, didn't find that pin?
Mm-hmm.
I find it very weird.
Mm-hmm. No one's looking. Like that person was looking. You're looking. People are paying attention. That's important. And then all of a sudden they realize, oh, hey, someone's looking. Right.
I'm glad you said that. Yeah, because I am on the fence on why it mattered that maybe 10,000 people went over to look at this thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's been there for 2 years. I'm sure more people maybe went over and thought it was fake. I don't know.
Well, it just concerns. I think from what I'm hearing, it's more likely that the government took it down to just to put a pause on that bombardment of information because they didn't want to answer questions. In a sense, I'm concerned that people have the authority to put that much pressure on something. But we could also use that as to our advantage. So if that amount of people are using that influence on something that actually mattered, right, then we could perhaps move in a more positive example or direction.
Well, to me, it says something might be there. Mm-hmm. You know, there may be something there, and they realized, oh man, we shouldn't have put that there, and took it out. The mistake. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say that's a no drone. You can't fly drones there, right?
Oh, no. Hell no.
Yeah. You can't even get even close to seeing
No way. No. Shouldn't even be there. However, it's not water guzzlers. It doesn't, you can't change it. You know, they're saying you can easily change it and the world can see. Nope. That's not true. That's another disinfo thing going out there. That's the mistake Jeremy made on Alien Scientists when he said we should go flag it because he didn't know at the time that it wasn't water guzzlers. He just assumed it was.
And that could have been a very valuable piece of information that could be used and studied and researched, and he ruined it. It sounds like he ruined it for a lot of people.
Sure did.
So again, it comes back to like, how does that's a ringleader. That's someone who, how many followers does this guy have? I don't even know.
106,000.
Okay. And then 106,000 people blindly follow. Let's just assume majority of them had followed his direction. And that was the result of that. Can you imagine? Yeah. And what else does this guy tell other people to do with his influence?
Well, you know, I'm friends with the guy. I know I watch his show. He's really a good guy. I think he just got a little bit ahead of himself because he wanted to be the first person to debunk it. And he doesn't like the Bob Lazar story. So he can't believe it. You know what I mean? But now he's like, oh my God, I made a mistake. He apologized. It was cool. But still, people still think it's water guzzlers even after we put the evidence out. He put the evidence out that it's not.
What if it is, though?
It is.
How do you know, though?
Well, we don't know. You're right.
Right? So it could be.
It's just the land maps that he pulled up, you know, and found out what's supposedly there. But we don't know for sure. Could all be a lie.
So you mentioned that he's not buying in the Bob Lazar story. What about you? What do you think about, you're pretty passionate about this. Where do you lie on this?
When I first watched the Bob Lazar story, I liked it because I liked his demeanor. I liked the way he spoke. But then I thought, well, it's almost too perfect, this guy. You know, why would they hire a guy who's a recluse pretty much, even though he's not, but was presented as somebody who owned a brothel and his wife committed suicide when he was dating this other girl and all this stuff and, you know, weird happenings around him building these cars that are really illegal and driving around town. At 20, 21 years old, whatever, how old he was, I think that was really strange of them to do that. I think he was... Seriously, this is exactly what I think happened. He was a test subject. on humans to see how they would act if they thought like they were important enough, like smart enough to be involved with aliens. How would that work out for us as the, secret military or whatever, Will this guy go again? What will he do? And yeah, he did everything that you would think. He brought his friends out to go look at UFOs on Wednesday nights and they got busted. But I'm not too sure about him really working there. I really don't know. He could have, but we just don't know. Everything, like last night, Third Phase broke a video out. Jim Goodall is friends with Bob Lazar. And Jim Goodall talked about having Bob Lazar's W-2 form. Okay. And when he was in the Army or Navy or whatever it was, his admiral found out about it. 2-star admiral found out about it. Called him into his office. He goes, give me that. And Jim always left it in his back pocket. Don't know why, but he did. So he takes it out and and the 2-star admiral goes, if you ever get in my way again, I'm going to make your life a living hell as in the military. And he shredded Bob Lazar's W-2 right in front of him. So that's interesting. And this guy, Jim Goodall, I don't know if you know him, but he's extremely popular, very nice guy. He's the guy who first photographed the S4. Okay. And yes, not the S4, the SR, the SR2, I think. What's that big black airplane?
Yeah, I think SSR2 or
like
SR71 or something.
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, the very first time a photo was taken of it. But what a story. I mean, that may mean that the Bob Lazar thing could be real.
Well, they have to have employees. They have to have people doing it. Whistleblowing is a thing. I mean, it's just we don't have the government saying yay or nay either. We just kind of have these people run around saying I've seen something, and this is what it is. And we believe them. Some people believe it because we're not believing the person, we're believing the story more than likely because we have had an experience. And we want that to link to our experiences because we want validation that what has happened to us is really happening, and we're looking for someone to blame or someone to tell us the answers. That's how that circle works. And I mean, what's your opinion on Elizondo?
Oh, wow, it's like you read my mind. I was just about to bring up the 3 videos to you. And, Elizondo, he was brought in my opinion, for 2 Stars Academy of Arts and Sciences, of course, to take over that little group over there. And he brought in the threat assessment, which I thought was very strange at the time. And then these videos that he put out, which are, in my opinion, they're awful. FLIR videos, come on, man. Go Fast, the gimbal, and the Tic Tac. We don't know what those are. And Mick West has been debunking most. I think he debunked all 3, and I did too, I think, in my opinion. But Lou says that they're a threat, because they are showing up in our secured airspace. Right? In 2004, they talk about the Nimitz, and they were watching us for weeks out off, in the distance. And Kevin Day, the radar operator, and I think it was Cahill too was there, and Fravor and his story. Mm-hmm. Fravor was the pilot. Well, you know what? We never saw any video of those, of anything they said. There's supposedly a 23-minute video out there of all of this. But if you think about it from my point of view, like somebody who doesn't believe what they're saying, I think that whole story could be made up. They only have 4 players. You can make up and they didn't bring them all in at the same time. They staggered them in 4 to 6 months apart to add to the story.
So a little tidbit here. Well, I worked with MUFON National as the field investigator trainer. During the time that was happening, the 3rd video hadn't been released yet, and MUFON brokered a deal with 2 Stars Academy in order to have that video displayed for the first time at the expo, at their symposium, before it went to the public. Whoa. So there is money involved in those videos, at least for that particular time, for that one particular video. I seen the video before the video went out,
Okay.
and it didn't look like the videos that we see today because it didn't have the watermarks, it didn't have the branding, it didn't have any
Oh,
of that.
really?
And to me, at that time, it didn't look grainy. It looked a little bit clearer that you could identify it. And I thought it was a blimp, but I couldn't have access to the actual file to do any work on it. It was just a visual.
Yeah.
And other people in the room, like Chase Kletzky and all that other stuff, well, personal
Sure.
room, and all that stuff for MUFON. So that's my experience around that.
Wow.
And then when we see it, it's it's different. And I'm like, why is it different? Why is it covered? So we're asking up all those questions. And that didn't make sense to me at that time.
So are you saying the overlays aren't real?
Well,
They were made up?
Well, what I'm saying is the two, it didn't have the two stars.
Oh, just the advertising
I
logo.
didn't see
Oh,
the advertising logo.
But the HUD display was up.
The HUD, yeah, that
Okay.
was there. Sorry, yeah, that would be different. That would be
Yeah,
totally
I'm like, whoa.
totally different. Totally
Yeah.
different. Sorry if I made it sound like that. I didn't mean it like that.
I had to ask.
Yeah, no, it's good. So what I was saying is, in that moment, I can guarantee, at least for that video, that it was the release of it was hesitant or paused long enough for them to sell tickets for this expo, so that way they would show up and be able there to present it there. So there was an exchange of money for the To the Stars Academy for that video, and then everything. And then if you go, you can fact check this too by checking the date of the symposium and then the date that the video was released, and there's that time frame.
That's amazing.
So what does that mean? That means
no.
money. That means motive. And if there's only 4 people, what do they all have in common? Well, that's money. And what do they have to gain now? Well, Lou's writing a book. And what better way to sell said book if you don't have people convinced to buy it? I have a book, and I mean, I'm not a millionaire because I'm not going around marketing selling it, but
Sure.
but he's got that campaign ahead of time. So that's where I'm at with that. So is it true? It could still be. But in terms of Lou's part in this,
Yeah.
like he was, I mean, I get, like, he's done. Like, he's did his part. Thank you for your service and help for getting it to this point. But let's move on to the next thing.
Because you asked me what I thought about him. Well, I think he's a disinfo guy. I don't, everything, and I'm not the only one who says this. A lot of people say this guy talks in circles, and he's talking for an hour and he didn't say anything. And I'm like, wow, I say that every time the guy speaks too, so it must be real. You like to get that, verification from people you don't know.
But everyone's listening to him. Why?
Yeah, I know. It's wild. It's like Stephen Greer. Even though the guy has the CE5 thing, people, want to hear what he has to say.
I mean, it's the message, though. So
Right,
even
yeah.
if Lou, to his defense, even if because we can't prove or disprove, his message has always been humbling, saying, like, thank you to the people and thank you for you guys for doing this. Like, he's really catering to the experiencers, to the people, and we need that. There's nothing, we need more of that. I do that, like, so to represent at that lower level, I guess it's like it's humbling.
Well, so you're saying, and I'll tell you why I'm bringing this up, why I'm asking. So you think Lou Elizondo, when he talks to people like who have very little subscribers, you think that's a great thing he's doing? Is that what you're saying?
Well, what I'm saying is he acknowledges that people coming forward and sharing their experiences are important. So what I'm feeling in his language is he's trying to. There may be some sort of reporting system that comes out with the government moving forward, and what I feel like in his role may be to encourage or earn trust from the civilians to report to the government one day.
Of course.
Voluntarily. Now, the question is, can you trust your government with that? You should at some point. It's hard to trust them right now. But is that the counter? Is that the counter? Is that the end game? Is that the manipulation? Because he's selling the story right. The people are believing it. But is he telling the truth? Are we really going to get the help we want for volunteering that information? And if you're an experiencer, are you going to trust the government to handle your case?
Let's talk about what just happened recently. And Lou says he was involved with this, the AOI MSG, the office inside the DOD, at the Pentagon and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it didn't turn out like he thought it would, right? Because the AOI MSG is basically working out of the same office that ATIP was from, and they're still using those same tactics, which is, conceal and deny. And that's what's going to happen. And Lou was very upset when the AOI MSG took that role. Because we're not going to have transparency. They're there to dampen the blow of any real significant UFO sighting or alien invasion, whatever. It's
damage control.
It is, but Lou was, he did say, hey, I can't make promises we're going to get what we want. It's like he already knew. And, it's just, he was pitching that we're going to get this room. We're going to be able to talk to our adversaries and learn what they have. And that's what I think Lou wanted more than anything, was to have the government be able to investigate UFOs inside the government, known to the public, and then go to all the other countries that have their secrets and learn what they have. That's what he really, really wanted. It had nothing to do with you and me, or you or I, or us. It didn't have to do with the public. That's why they use UAP instead of UFO, because that is, UFO is for civilians, UAP is for government, UFO sightings, and so on. But I think Lou doesn't know what's going on. He's changed his tune a little bit. He's
had some media training, I've noticed.
He has, but we don't even know if he was in ATIP for any significant time either. John Greenwald from the Black Vault brought that up, that, we don't even know if this guy worked there. And Lou says, I don't know if you know the story, but the government came out, the Pentagon said that we don't have any records of him working here. And they removed all of his emails. He couldn't even go into his emails anymore, he said. It's kind of like a Bob Lazar type of thing.
It seems to be the pattern or copycat, the marketing plan.
Right. That's what I think it might be, yeah. It makes him look more important. Like, oh my God, they're going to shut him out? I mean...
But it's still also possible.
Of course.
And that's the hard part, because we believe. So, and we want those answers. And he's the guy that seems to be the one who has them, allegedly.
No, I don't think so at all. I don't think this guy knows anything. I'll be honest, I don't. I don't think, and that it's because of the 3 videos he brought forward are no better than what Jeremy Corbell brought forward. They're nothing.
Well, yeah. It's
a joke.
Well,
they're laughing at us.
It's part of it. Yeah, no, I get it. I'm with you. I mean, it's from the experiencer element, I guess. It's the best we got. At least we got something, and at least we're talking about it.
What's the best we've got? We're still in the same situation we've been in. Nothing's changed. Do you really think that if they find anything significant, they're going to tell us? No. Yeah, so we're in the same spot we were. Yeah, we are talking about it, but we're talking about nothing new.
No, I hear you with that. So that's why I'm starting to see this. I'm expecting it to be more of a damage control kind of like, okay, so somehow. So let's talk about the because we got 10 minutes before we do our first.
That was fast.
Our break. Yeah, we got in this real quick. So let's talk about the fact that someone had videotaped something or had access to information that is classified and allegedly unclassified to release to civilian, all that other stuff. But let's just imagine that he wasn't supposed to do that, and that was a breach of data. And then the government, who is his employer, had just realized that somehow this information wasn't protected, and it got out, and this is what happened to it. And now we have to do all these things because we don't want to tell them what it really is, and it might be easier to suggest that we don't know what it is and ride this UFO kind of thing, because we'll be able to bury that, and that will distract them from us actually telling them what it really is. But the truth is that, and the facts show that an employee had leaked information, and now the employer is doing whatever they can to prevent future employees to do that same thing again. And that's what I'm seeing. That's what has to happen first. And then once they control the data again, the question is whether or not when we get this report in a year's time, whether or not that's going to be useful to us.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've thought about that too. I mean, how can you not? But I always go back to Lou and his threat assessment. And if you don't create a threat, the government won't fund you. They won't help you out. And what he did was create this threat narrative. These we don't know what they are. We don't know where they come from. We just know that they're watching us in 2004, 2015, 19, and they're in our airspace, and that's a threat. Well, so far aliens have never attacked us or done anything that we know of, unless abductions are real, because that is that's awful, I think. But away from the abduction, back to Lou, if it's a threat, then he can get Rubio and Gillibrand, however you say her name, to sign off on, getting this office and being more transparent. It didn't work out. But then Lou announces a book, and like you said, they even had the video out there, before, two of the three of them, and one of them was being sold at a MUFON thing. So if those videos were real UFOs, Lou would have been in prison, I think. Something we would have never heard of Lou, I think. I don't know.
Well, when people lie, they lie forward. They can't go backwards. So this is evolving because he has to continue this story in order to continue to maintain whatever his goal is. So that has to adapt. That has to evolve if that's what he wants to achieve. You need to establish his motive. But him on its own doesn't matter. He's not important anymore.
Lou isn't? Not anymore. Yeah, right.
So he did his part. So moving on, we have to trust we have to wait to see what the government does, because your government has allowed it. They funded it. It's going to happen, and then we just need to see how that unfolds. And there's still those things are great.
Yeah,
if they deliver.
Right. But here's another one for you. Lou's not done yet. He just joined up with the Galileo project. He's part of the team. And Mellon and Nick Pope. Really? I mean, now they're going to be watching everything that Galileo finds and suppress it maybe? I don't trust him. Can't trust him. He's government all the way. He's a yes sir.
Yeah, no. Exactly.
Yes, man.
You got to follow the money too, right?
Well, yeah, of course.
So here's a theory. Lou has patents. He's very intelligent.
Yep.
He's an engineer. He knows how to build machines like that. What if this is something he's invented and he's just marketing it? Videotaping something he's created, and they stole his technology and he's mad.
Wait, you're talking about the 3 videos?
Well, I'm just saying, he has patents out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so he has the ability to create and engineer machines. So what if, this is just things that I've heard, it's not mine, it's just things I've heard, but what if alternative thinking is if he was the creator of these and they stole it from him and he's not financially profiting from it. So this is just a whole kind of thing to, expose that he's the owner of it. But he doesn't want to expose that he's the owner of it, because then everything else he just lied about will come out. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I've done some fact checking on that. I've done some background checks on him. I've done some financial research, we'll say, and there's a lot of motive around that, a lot of business things around a deficit. So there is a need to get more. Whether or not that's his method or reason to do that, that's up to him. That's a personal thing.
Yeah.
And he would have to be here obviously to speak to that, but that's just an alternative thought.
Yeah.
He is a human being. I don't know. That's just my thought.
It's a good one, man. I never thought of that. That's really interesting. Yeah.
I think outside the box.
What's that?
I just think outside the box and think, the human. You gotta forget he's human. Don't forget he's a human being too. And how do humans act when they're wrong, right? Or wronged, or
True.
right. And that there's a lot of circumstantial evidence that would support that.
Man,
Okay.
so yeah, that's wild, man.
That's good.
It's good stuff.
I mean, I don't hate him. I don't have issues with him. It's just I've seen enough of him, and it's not changing. It's not new, and I really hope that with his book, that he is providing something that we could use, or not talking about it. There's.
Why couldn't he have talked about what's in that book? He had all these years to talk about.
Well, because he wants you to buy it.
I know, but that bothers me.
But he's got. So if you look at his financial records, okay, he's well off.
Is he?
If you would like to see his house, I can show you his house.
Is it in Arizona?
Well, no. Anyways,
okay.
What I'm saying is if you, I'm just looking at the person as a human being to understand why a human being would do what he's doing. I don't care what he's doing. I'm not saying he's illegal or anything like that. There's nothing illegal about what he's doing. I'm just saying to understand the person. So why would a person who doesn't need to make $1 million off of a book sale, all of a sudden sign into $1 million book sale?
That's interesting, because I had the impression that he was living out of some sort of van that traveled around the U.S. I mean, there were so many different stories going around. I never heard that he was well off.
Well, he wouldn't talk about it.
Yeah, I know, but I never even seen it as a thing. Nobody's ever talked about it, not even in my circle.
Well, they wouldn't. This is just things in my circle on how I'm looking at it.
Oh, well, you are a private investigator, I guess.
Correct.
So you know some things I
don't.
So
I do have access to information the public do not have, and I do not, and I'm unable to divulge or reveal that unless there's criminal activity. So there's no criminal activity, so therefore I'm speculating on things I know. But that doesn't mean he's a bad person. I'm just taking that information to give you a different thought about it, to be like, And what I wanted to get into, which we'll do on the second half, is just use that as an example, because there's lots of people that do that that aren't on TV. Nick Pope, as an example, he's got a marketing campaign. Everybody's got a marketing campaign. They're all trying to at least get their expenses paid. But is that wrong?
It depends.
Where's the ethics?
Yeah, that's going to take some time to get into.
Mm-hmm.
The ethics are only if you're telling the truth.
But how do you know? And the witnesses don't know. The experiencers don't know, and they believe because they want to know what happened to them for real. They want to know why they're seeing these things or experiencing these things. And the problem with getting a yes from the government, by them saying yes to UFOs, that means they'd have to say yes to ghosts, yes to to alien abductions. They have to say yes to everything. There's a lot. So it makes a lot of sense for them, and it's easier for them to cover it up, because if they say yes to one, they got to say yes to all. So we'll leave it there, and we'll be back after a quick commercial break, and then I'm going to ask you about GUFON. I want to get into that because I have some questions about that. Why not? All right, we'll be back after a quick commercial break.
It's your business. It's your property. Your assets are